Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I've been working on this Amazon FBA seller thing for 1 month, and I'm going to give you the brutally honest results of how I've done. And initially, my initial thoughts are sales are slow. So I've been at it for a month, and so far, if I look at my orders here, I've only managed to sell actually 6 things. So I sold 4 of the UV lights. I also started selling a bingo game. I sold one of my books and I got a return or replacement on one of my UV lights. So I've only made like a few bucks. Literally, I'm going to be making literally dozens of dollars here with Amazon the way it's going. So that is the first thing is like, yeah, it's like it's not selling really quickly. Now for my UV lights, those what sold quickly as soon as I had the sale and I had the buy box, and I immediately sold 4 of them. But then I could not sell the rest because they were in in shipment between warehouses. So those units were not available. I'm sure if those units had actually been available, then I would have been able to sell all 20 of them. But since they were stuck in Amazon's warehouse, I wasn't able to do that. And then a bunch of other sellers came in and lowered the price to the point where it just wasn't profitable for me to sell. So I'm just sitting on those units as it stands. Now, one thing that you can observe about this, which is a brutally honest truth, is that if you want to sell something, then you have to kind of constantly look at the prices for these products and seeing whether someone has undercut you, right? And then, because if you don't have the buy box, you are not going to sell anything. So I'm not sure how these other sellers who have, I don't know, like maybe hundreds of products do it, but there's no way to I don't know, keep track of that so that you actually become competitive. And you'll see the other videos where they go to the store and they say, "Oh, I made hundreds of dollars picking up stuff from the store." And it's no, they haven't made that money. They have not made that money yet. You have to actually put a price on it and sell it before you can make that profit. Otherwise, you may end up picking up, a product that just doesn't sell. Now, I did try and pick up my first product that was not from the dollar store, and that did not turn out to be a winner. So I bought it. I picked up this game from the thrift store for $5. I could see that it was going for maybe $15 or so. Now, one thing that I learned, and it's really hard when you're at the store to figure out one of the costs, which is how much is it going to cost to send this thing to Amazon, right? So for such cheap products, that makes a pretty big difference, right? So if you watched my last video, I told you that when you send in a bunch of goods, they go and they make a shipping plan. So it goes on, let's call these Amazon things, and they break up your shipment into various warehouses. Now, I only had like 5 of these games, and they wanted me to send 2 of them to one warehouse and 2 of them to another warehouse, another one to another warehouse. And all of that made the shipping extremely expensive. Like per unit basis is like almost $4 or $5 per unit, which of course completely wiped out any possible profit on that item. Now, there is one thing I found, there's another secret that you can force it so that you can put all of your shipments to one warehouse if it's a single product. And you can do that. You have to go into settings, and I think it's, let's see, settings. Is it fulfillment by Amazon? Yeah, we're waiting for that. Now there's this option here called inventory placement options. Now, what I described earlier was the distributed inventory placement, which means they get to decide how to split up your shipment. But you can also select this inventory placement service, in which case you can send all of the same SKUs all in the same box so that you don't have to spend all that much on shipping. But there is a catch in that this is a for fee service. So for something like a game that weighs a pound, it's about 50 cents per item. that gets added on to your shipping cost. So for 5 games, that would be an additional $1.50, but that would be a lot less than having to ship 3 boxes to 3 different locations, each box costing about $5 each, right? Like $15 worth of shipping. So I could save all of that shipping and only have to pay an extra $1.50. So that is another trick there. If you're sending relatively small amounts and you're having a hard time trying to figure out, how much the thing will cost to ship. Now, I also looked at other places to get products beside the dollar store. And one place which is frequently mentioned is EE Distribution, because you can buy toys there and you can buy them in relatively small quantities so that you can get unblocked from selling certain brands. Because I found that the other honest reality here is that you cannot hardly sell anything as a beginner Amazon seller, because you're going to be blocked on almost anything. Like you can't sell light bulbs, you can't sell any cosmetics, you can't hardly sell anything. I was surprised I was allowed to sell that game. That went in there. I actually got approval for that, but I can't sell toys. And you have to go to a distributor to actually get a real invoice in order to qualify to sell things as simple as toys. So I went to EE Distribution. Now, the only problem with them is that they now have a minimum initial order of $250. So, that might work if you're trying to get unblocked in several categories and you're willing to make a $250 expenditure on toys that you don't know they're going to be selling. The other problem is EE Distribution. Most everything they have actually isn't in stock. Their main way of selling things is for you to pre-order like months ahead of time, and then they'll send you your toys several months later. So once again, that's not very good for the beginners. We don't want to wait 2 months, and we don't know whether, if you have a new toy, we wouldn't know whether it's going to actually sell or not, and we don't want to spend the $250. So that was kind of a no-go with EE Distribution. So what I did was that I went to Alibaba. So Alibaba is your main place to go to your Chinese manufacturers to get goods. And what I did there, Alibaba.com. What I did there is that I found some toys, like plushies, which are relatively inexpensive, and I could buy 10 of them, which is what you need to do. And they did send it to me. It only took actually remarkably quickly, only about 10 days for it to get to me. So I'm going to try and list those. I have to get approved by sending in pictures of the toy and a picture of my invoice, and hopefully I'll get the approval so I can try and sell those things, because the retail arbitrage is really kind of hit and miss. So, and it depends, and you really can't pick the products that are going to sell fast, because you just kind of have to pick what's in the store, right? Versus if I find something in Alibaba, I know they're selling like 300 of them per month, and that I can get in there and sell a couple per month. So, but that is the update. That is the honest and brutal truth. I'm not making huge amounts of money here, but I am learning. So I think that's important, and I hope that you're learning. Now, if you manage to stick around this long to watch my video, I would appreciate it. If you would just go ahead and click the like button, because that tells the YouTube algorithm that it should recommend my videos to other people, and then other people will be able to learn about the problems with selling on Amazon. And of course, I would also appreciate it if you could subscribe. I'm still looking for my 1,000 subscribers. And if you want to be notified and keep track of how my adventures are going with Amazon FBA, click the notification button. That notification is the only thing will actually sort of notify or send you. If you subscribe, basically nothing happens, not unless you click notify. So please go ahead, at least like the video, and I'll see you again next time. Ta-ta!